Giving up in a manifestation sense holds an entirely different meaning to if I was to just pull someone off the street who doesn't know about the law and say, hey, I'm giving up. Giving up in a manifestation sense means I'm settling with the story I've told myself. Your reality is created by nothing more than prior states of consciousness that are playing out presently. This means the thing that you are experiencing that you do not like, you conceptualized in your mind in the past in one form or another, and your subconscious mind has made it play out for you now. Therefore, considering it is a prior state of consciousness playing out now, if we change today's states of consciousness to align with what we desire, that will play out tomorrow, the day after, the week after, whenever. So when we say that we're giving up, what we're actually saying is, I have decided to allow my prior self who thought the negative things, again, in one form or another, to be the final decision on this outcome. Because your outcomes are based on your states of consciousness and nothing more, unlike people that don't know about the law who would see it as, this person just doesn't want me. If it was meant to be, it would have been, but it hasn't, so it's clearly not. Those kinds of ways of thinking. The way it truly is my states of consciousness created these outcomes. Therefore, by me giving up, I'm essentially saying, I'm happy with what I have created. Or maybe not necessarily I'm happy with what I've created, that might have been the wrong term, but I'm more willing to accept what I've created as solid than I am willing to accept that I could recreate it as something different. That's probably better than happy. Therefore, and while there's nothing wrong with giving up, I want to stress that there is absolutely nothing wrong with giving up. Maybe you found someone new, maybe you found a better job, maybe you're just done with the process, maybe you've got different goals than when you first started this manifestation journey. There are plenty of valid reasons why someone may give up. But if you're giving up under the purposes of, I've been doing this for so long and no success, or I'm frustrated, or I'm so on and so forth, what I would honestly recommend more so is to resolve the reasons behind why you want to give up before actually giving up. What I mean by this is if you're getting stressed in the process, you're sad, you're unhappy, things like that, work on self-fulfillment. Work on those triggers, work on the sadness, work on making yourself feel happy. And if you still want to give up then at least you know that your giving up is a genuine, I'm done, as opposed to just reacting to what's happening in front of you right now. Like I said, it's your states of consciousness that have created this, so you absolutely can change this. The only reason why you may not have so far is you're still aligning more dominantly to the undesired state of consciousness, the ones that have created this, again, in one form or another, more so than you are aligning with the recreated version of this situation. If you feel like giving up, and it is due to negative reasons, i.e. reacting and so on and so forth, that in and of itself is a good indicator as to why things haven't changed. Which means if you were to work on those things specifically, resolve them, get yourself to a point where you're feeling fulfilled, you're feeling happy, you're feeling so on and so forth, and you still think, I'm done, then at least you know it's valid and you have decided that you no longer align with your desired outcome. But if you're reacting to, let's say, circumstances, or you're just feeling frustrated or burnt out and you're going, that's it, I'm done, this is in and of itself a reaction. And if you're just going to come back a day later, 2 days later, a week later, and say, actually, no, I still want this, then you are keeping yourself in a perpetual cycle of, I give up, no, I actually want this. I give up, no, I actually want this. I 100% advocate the idea of detaching from the outcome. 100% I think detachment is great. But detachment and giving up are two very, very different things. Detachment is, I'm going to choose to focus on my desired outcome because of course I desire it, but I know it is done. Or, but I'm happy with how it comes, when it comes, and so on, so I'm going to allow my subconscious mind to make it happen. I'm not in need of it. I'm not desperate for it. I'm not attached to it. I'm being directive with my imagination, so my subconscious mind knows what to create. And I'm being freeing with how it comes about and when it comes about. That's detachment. Giving up is, I'm sick of these things, I'm sick of doing this work, I'm sick of XYZ thing, I'm so hurt, I'm so blah, 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 so I'm going to step away. What that is, and again, valid, like I said earlier, there's valid, you can give up if you want to, but what that is essentially the Newtonian model of something externally has made me feel something internally. Therefore, I am reacting to the external and will recreate the external. What we need to make sure that we're doing is thinking, feeling, and acting solely from an internal space. And if that aligns with giving up, then sure. But if it doesn't, if deep down you know you still want this desire, stop speaking about giving up. Stop acting like you're going to give up. Stop throwing your dummy out. No, spitting your dummy out or throwing your toys out the pram, two different sayings. And just resolve what is causing these problems internally. As in, why you're so triggered by this event. As in, why you're so unhappy. As in, what about your day-to-day life makes it so that you can't be happy without XYZ thing going the way that you desire it to go. Because if you can get yourself to that point of self-fulfillment, or at the very least, able to look past these moments when they come up without immediately going, that's it, I'm done, I never want to do this again, I feel like giving up, you're going to have a much, much, much better chance of getting your desire than if you keep yourself in this perpetual cycle. The speech of giving up only ever comes from someone who doesn't have their desire and is aware of it. So unless your intention is to actually fully just, that's it, I'm done, never ever speak on giving up, and instead use that feeling of wanting to give up as fuel to figure out the why and how to resolve it. Because if you can get to that point, if you can understand why you are so ready to give up, or at least ready to claim that you're going to give up, and how you can stop this from happening again, you can break that cycle. And what happens when we break cycles in manifestation? We get new circumstances, we get new consequences. If you do what you have always done, you will get what you have always gotten. So if you found yourself in this pattern of, I'm doing great for 2 days, something's happened, I give up. I'm going to go back to doing great for another 2 days, something's happened, I'm going to give up. Imagine what would happen if you broke that cycle. Imagine how your reality would shift and how things would change if you just did something slightly different. And in this case, the thing that is slightly different is to, instead of immediately throwing your dummy out, I got the saying wrong again, instead of immediately spitting your dummy out and going, that's it, I give up, done, blah, 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 and then coming back to it a day later, why not catch ourselves and say, why do I want to give up? What is it about this that makes me want to give up? What is the fueling fire behind my claim to give up? And what do I need to do up here or externally? Because of course, for example, taking a walk could help you calm down. But what do I need to do in my imagination or in my internal state of being or externally? And when I say externally, I don't mean regarding the situation, i.e. pushing more and more and more to get an answer, but to help myself resolve these feelings. If you can understand this and do this, put it into play. Don't just go, oh yeah, it'd be really good if I could go for a walk because it would give me some fresh air. And then you sit on your sofa crying all day. If you do this and get yourself to a better space, one of two things will happen. You will either go, I'm glad I overcame that, and you're going to feel more empowered, you're going to feel better in yourself, and you're going to feel more ready to tackle it again in the future. Or you're going to say, actually, no, I do feel better, and I'm still willing to give up. And at least in that position, you are being authentic to yourself and giving up where necessary, or you are now ready to kick its ass next time that happens again, which of course will help you get that, will help you in getting that desire, because you're finally breaking the cycles of spirals and saying, yes, I can do this. Yes, this is mine. I know how to handle it. I'm going to dwell in the negative less and less and less and less and less, which of course we know due to dominant state, the less negative you have, the less positive you even need in order to manifest. So take this on board. Now, I've never watched another manifestation coach's here's what you do when you give up video, so I have no idea if this is the kind of thing that you guys wanted to hear from if you feel like you want to give up. But this is my 2 cents on this kind of topic. Never speak on giving up unless you actually intend to, because otherwise you just kind of look like a child. In the nicest way that I can say that, with the most love that I can say that. That's the way that children behave. I didn't get my way, I'm going to stamp my feet. We're adults. We're people that know that our states of consciousness create. So when something happens that you don't like, why are we acting like not an unknowing, an uneducated child and stamping your feet and going, that's it, I give up, blah, 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 as opposed to going, okay, I understand how I feel. I understand what I want and what my ego is telling me it wants in the moment that I'm in a fight or flight response or deep anxiety or something like that. But what's the bigger picture? Am I going to come back to this once I feel better? Once I've cried it out for an hour, put on my favorite song and ordered a greasy takeaway and I feel a little bit better, am I going to pursue it again? If so, why would I give myself this entire hour, for example, to beat myself up over something and to throw my toys out the pram when I could just go, I understand what I'm feeling, I understand why I'm feeling it, I understand how to resolve it, and I'm going to work on resolving it immediately so I can mitigate the amount of time I spend in this undesired state. Because like I said, I'm just going to get back to it tomorrow anyway. So why not get back to it now? Because this would make your desire come quicker. I mean, I think everybody knows it, but I really need to stress the point of, if you just stop spiraling for so long, that would make such a difference to your process. But of course, it's not easy to just stop spiraling, which is why I've recommended finding the why it's happening and how to resolve it, so you can actually be practical with the just stop spiraling advice that floats through YouTube so much. I really hope this video has helped. A little bit different, I know, I think. I don't know. Is it different? I'm not sure. But yeah, I really hope this video has helped. If it has, drop me a like and a comment to let me know, and it pushes it out on the algorithm to help more people, to stop them from giving up and to throwing their toys out the pram. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon because YouTube doesn't always recommend my videos. And if you need my help, a bit of a helping hand, kick in the ass along the way. I messed up a lot of my words today. Down below in the description is everything you'll need to get in contact with me on a one-to-one basis, and we can work together to help you get that desire. But I really hope you've enjoyed, and I hope this stops you from giving up, and I hope you are ready to put on your big girl and big boy pants and go kick some ass. See you later.